this time we're doing a topic that's very specific that Spirit came through with. It's going to be, where are you moving to next? This could be a literal location, maybe a career path, or maybe you are on the move already and this would just be a confirmation to how the environment is going to look. And I hope you guys find this clarifying, or maybe gives you a sense of peace in some way, maybe calms some anxiety, and also gives you a sense of security and surrender, to flow and let go and really trust in the divine and in your spirit and your divine team guiding you to the right place. And also a lot of hope for believing again that you can start again, a new beginning. So here are your piles. I'll give you some time to choose. The first pile is Black Tourmaline necklace. The second pile is Blue Sodalite choker. And the third pile is clear quartz rattle. Take some time to choose whatever object calls you, and I'll see you in your reading. Hi, pile number 1. You chose the Black Tourmaline necklace, so let's check out your cards and see, where are you moving next? Okay, first card. It's a sheet of the lotus. I feel like where you're moving next might be somewhere where you're finally gonna be able to embrace some of your shadow. You're finally going to be able to see clearly where was it that those around you were taking you in completely as you are, accepting you with your flaws and accepting their own flaws as a reflection. Because when we don't accept our own flaws, we're not accepting anyone else's, right? So I feel that might resonate with you. Maybe some place that's going to be super peaceful, because we have here 43, and that equals to 7, which is the 7th chakra, which is the crown chakra. And I see her crown chakra really flourishing and going towards that lotus power of healing from murky waters, and being able to speak now and express, because you're able to see and then in yourself be vulnerable, and really make those tears and sadness and sorrow and grief that once paralyzed you part of your essence now, and you're accepting it, and it's a mark on you of your really true desires now. So that's gonna be somewhere when you're fully accepted. And I think this pile has to do with some sort of job, I'm gonna say. So this environment is gonna include that job per se. And let's see what your next card is. Okay, you got the deer card. Let's read it. It says living, loving, intuitive, graceful, the mother. So maybe this place is gonna be somewhere where you're gonna work with children. It says on the book right here, it says to bring into balance nature and children. Yeah, this might be somewhere when you're really able to embrace your shadow and there's not gonna be so much outer noise from city life. So maybe you're moving to per se like the countryside, or you're moving to a completely isolated spot in the mountains or the forest, or somewhere where it just really lets you hear your own thoughts, because you have not been able to do that. You've been really struggling, pile number one, to actually see that that is the key, that is a main key factor to you freeing yourself, really listening to your shadow and your pain, to be able to then hold space for maybe it's gonna be children, or a children aspect of the collective, which can be really anything. Examples are like really embracing music in others. So maybe you're gonna teach adults, or you're gonna hold space for music circles. That's just an example. Maybe you're gonna be holding space and giving people space to paint in the middle of nowhere outdoors. It says, when in balance, receptive, compassionate, and nurturing. When out of balance, you're concerned and protective. Yeah, you have this energy of like a motherly energy with this card here with the deer. It is the mother. Let's check out your next card. Okay, so you got the Page of Pentacles. Yes, I think you're really going to be working with giving out your hand to the collective. Where you're gonna live and where you're gonna move is gonna be somewhere where you are able to at least ground. And if this is not an outdoor spot, it might be somewhere where you just have a backyard and you have access to bringing people into balance, or children, or parents with their children. I'm hearing you might be able to live by a beach. Maybe this is what you've been wanting, and it's all gonna align with your your mission and your purpose, and maybe also your job. For some of you, this is just like a side thing that you're able to do for for pleasure, because it is your purpose, and it is a cause for you, and who came here to this earth to really ground those around you and nurture those around you and nourish them. So Page of Pentacles, it's an earth element too. So I think this is kind of like foresty or earth card, where you're gonna be able to connect to earth-based practices. Let's see what you got next. You got the children card. Yeah, for sure. This might be something that you've been considering teaching. Um, Maybe not really children, but higher grades of youth. It says treat your child like a prince for the first 5 years, like a student for the 10 more, and upon reaching the 16th year, like a friend in the proverb. Hmm. This might also mean that you are becoming a parent, or are thinking of wanting to. Um, and you're able to incorporate this in your practices to wherever you move. You're going to be able to create, to raise your child in this kind of environment. If you already have a partner, this might be something that you are going to work out really with them. And it is a job too, even if it's not a career specifically per se, it is a whole nother occupation to raise children. So this might be it, and you're gonna be a real calm in this new environment. This gonna allow you to be calm. So maybe if it's not even in nature, maybe this home or apartment is gonna have this like peace to it. You're gonna be able to incorporate that peace. Maybe you will have some incense and maybe some sound baths in it. You'll find a way to have a nice bathtub and be able to do this meditative practices where you're gonna be able to ground and nourish those around you in this tenderness that the earth provides. Let's see your last card. It says, I treat myself with the love and respect I wish to receive from others. Yes, you've really wanted this, pile number one, and you deserve it. Maybe you didn't get it before, maybe your past, you had to heal and suffer a lot from it. So now you're able to really see the contrast. And I hear spirit saying that you went through what you went for a reason, and for you to find that void so that you could fill it up, with flowers, with all this creativity, with all this tenderness, and make it your abundant path, to be able to give to the collective and receive it too. Because this is about you treating others with such nourishment and tenderness that you are also going to receive. So I feel like you are really on the path of holding space, or it has something to do with that. That is all I have for you. I hope this resonated, and I'll see you on the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number two. You chose the Blue Sodalite choker, and this is your reading of where you are moving next. Let's spread your cards. Okay. Okay, so your first card is a violet flame. And I'm feeling already like you're able to call on to protection and a lot of light. You can literally call the violet flame, and tell it to transmute all the goo that you've been going through right now, or even past life karmic cords, because I see her with the cord right here. And I know this card is about summoning that to really cut cords with whatever is keeping you restrained. You work a lot with maybe your crown chakra too, just like pile one, in case you feel called to watch that too. Because 5 plus 2 on the 52 here is 7, which is a crown chakra. Okay, yeah, you'll be receiving a lot of interference on your crown chakra, but you're able to call upon this, and your words are very powerful. Also, you got the Blue Sodalite choker, and that's specifically for the 5th chakra, which is the throat chakra. That's what I'm coming up with this, that your words are very important. You might state it every night, or every morning, whenever you take a shower, whenever you're trying to purify, center, and balance yourself. Call upon that help, that light that you have. You might be a fire sign, okay? You might have like a fire moon, or an ascendant on this fire energy element. So that might confirm this reading. Let's see what else has to do with where you're moving to, because this might be a place where you might have to clear a lot for others. Yep. Okay, that just confirms it. You got the phoenix. Yes, like the phoenix rises from the ashes. I feel like you're going to be able to really transmute whatever is holding back this community where you're moving to. I think for this pile, you might be moving to like a collective housing place. You might be moving in with roommates too. And you're going to be able to do this because these people resonate with you. These people might be either a few or a couple or even one of these people might be part of your soul tribe, and trust me, that is enough. uh, or maybe even all of them, but you guys are going to be able to balance each other's fire, I'm hearing, because for most of you, your fire gets out of control, but now you're going to be able to use it to your advantage and use it to transmute things when you have to defend the space or yourself. And your guides are really going to guide you into this. They're going to really speak to you. Speak, because the sodalite, I feel. And you're going to be able to receive them, and they're going to ask you to affirm it with specifically your words. You can also do writing, but I feel like you reading what you wrote is going to have a significant impact. Pile number 2. Let's read the book. It says freedom from suffering, past karma, reincarnation. Okay. It represents a transformation of our past. Doesn't mean running from it, denying it, or burning bridges with rage. The phoenix employs an advanced technique described in yoga as the burning of impurities through practice and dedication. Tapas. The essence of the phoenix is with us when we realize we have been suffering too long and something must change. We take a stand and decide to live consciously instead of being driven by the unconscious mind and its long list of fears and aversions. At that very moment, the spark of the phoenix is lit, and the great bird helps us burn through our baggage. We no longer run from who we are, what has happened to us, or what we have done. The stuckness and dead weight fall into the ashes, and the lightness and clarity emerge. As the stagnancy continues to smolder, the phoenix lifts us, our spirits up, and we begin to recognize ourselves. Again, we may catch a glimmer in our eye that wasn't there before. Look closely. It's a sign of the fire of transformation upon your wings. Yes, fire of transformation. I would recommend working with a violet flame specifically, but you don't have to. You might work with candles or incense, like I'm doing right now. A lot of stuff that include that fire element. Maybe you work with oils. Oils to be created, they need heat, sunlight, or some sort of fire, alchemized. The phoenix and the first chakra, which is the root chakra. Okay. It rises from the ash toward the navel center. Again and again, it makes this journey from first to the third chakra, purifying our essence, freeing us from the past. Okay, you might want to work with some navel core exercises, I'm feeling, because it is basically the wheel. You have the power, pile number 2. You just need the wheel to cut some people off, to cut some environments up, so you can open your roads and move to this place, in which you are going to be able to ground with others to protect you guys' peace. And I think this might be a collective project, or if not, each of you are going to be working on each of your missions and your actual purpose here on earth that you guys were born to do. And you're going to burn all these karmic cords to be able to do it with the strength and with the grounding that the phoenix is bringing y'all. um yeah, and nobody is perfect, and they don't have to be perfect. The group of people which you will be sharing a house with, maybe, or maybe sharing some space, maybe sharing the land with, but you all are working towards that, and that is what is the most powerful thing about all of this. So, yep, we're gonna check now your tarot card. Okay, you got the Four of Wands reversed. Yes, I mean, pile number 2. Yes, you've been going through a hard one. You've been going through and living around people or an environment which is very divided, I feel. in which you are kind of being like forced by spirit to just leave and start fresh to somewhere else. And I think that it's gonna be maybe a little bit painful to cut this cord. Maybe that's why you haven't, because if you consider this your home. But I think that is really, really necessary and where you're being redirected to. And I think that this is not a failure, but this is really spirit trying to save you, from this environment which is just pushing you down all the time. Um, I think that also when we're talking about relationships, you can you can be rest assured that maybe your family which you live with, or maybe these people that you're living with, are not gonna hate you. They're just really not doing the work for themselves, and you can't keep doing that for them. You need to work with people who are doing their own work, or else you're gonna drain yourself dry. You know what I mean? The Four of Wands in reverse. But let's see your Dharma card. So you got guidance. Yeah, your spirit guides are really guiding you to just move and to not feel guilty for wanting to start again, and transmuting all of that, which is your karmic past generational family tree, traumas and curses, even that prevented you from speaking your truth. Let's see what the guidance says. Fill your heart with these three: the words of sanity, of the words of saintly people, the words of holy books, and the words of your guru, Dhamma. So some of these people that you might be living around with, they might be some sort of guide, or maybe an elder that you're gonna meet. They don't have to be older than you for this, and they also don't have to be your guru, because run away if you think they're acting like a guru, like you have to learn from them all the time, because eso es pura soberbia. So maybe you might be living with someone like that already right now, or be having someone around you like that. For a lot of you, sadly, you will know this is true, but this might be an actual relationship in which you're in the process of really, really having discernment of they really are. So this just came up, but the guidance, it is to really work with people and try to put that effort and energy and essentially life force with those around you that want to work on it, you know. And this new place might be somewhere where you're gonna have a lot of neighbors, I'm feeling, but you can rest assured that they're not gonna bother you because I think you've been living around maybe neighbors that very sketchy or very mean, or whatever, like weird, like ungrounded energy that you feel, because you feel a lot, group number two. So even if you feel that again, don't be scared, don't be afraid, because this guided new location, it would shield you, and you will know how to do this, and you might have this companion, which will be those who you will be living with, or even if you are living alone, you would have your guides by your side, and the help of your fire transmuting powers, being reactivated in this new location. It says the journey of healing is never ending, and so is the love and dedication I have for myself. Yes, let's read that again. The journey of healing is never ending, and so is the love and dedication I have for myself. Yes, here with the Phoenix, I feel like you've been going through this again and again, and you might be remembering right now how harsh it was, but you you really need to trust that the work is never gonna end, but you will make it worth, you will make it worth it, and to in a balanced way also receive a lot of joy and peace on this new journey that you're gonna be at. And that's all I have for you, pile number 2. Let me know if this resonates, and thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. You chose that clear quartz rattle. So let's see what your cards are. Okay. Wow, coming up a lot lately in the collective communication, co-creation. So in this new place you're gonna live at, it will allow you to co-create in a way that you're gonna be able to fully harmonize with those around you. Maybe the job that you're gonna be going to, it's gonna be perfect to co-create some sort of project. Cheetah. Just be really careful with what you rush to when taking decisions. I'm here because with this sense of communication, co-creation, I feel like you've in the past just jumped into like group projects or maybe lived with someone way too fast. This place where you're moving to, you're going to find either through neighbors, not necessarily living with people, I'm hearing, but that might be the case too. For some of you, you're going to be able to find clarity with them, and there's a lot of people you're gonna attract to. So be careful who you let into your new home, into your new environment. If this is like a, you know, like a place where you're gonna also practice whatever you want to do, like your soul mission, and really chose those around you who you're gonna harmonize with the most to reach that satisfaction of doing what you love. Yeah, like I'm hearing from most of you, like you're getting out of toxic patterns, like maybe substance taking patterns, maybe, like even like overeating patterns or not eating enough patterns. Yeah, and you're gonna find those around you who are really balanced in those ways or are really working towards that because she's trying to work and make it work with others. It's a big, big compliment already for these souls that you might meet. And again, this can be neighbors, this can be just people in the new job, in the new area you're gonna be at, or actually people you're gonna be sharing a roof with, but doesn't necessarily mean that you will be living with people. But if that's the case, then you would know. Also, with the cheetah, well, that fire and that magnetic force might attract a lot of people, and that may attract a lot of, like per se, energetic larps that want from that they just takers and don't really want to work in a teamwork kind of way, but they just really want to take. And you gotta be careful with that because you're gonna be probably attracting and shining like a sun. You're gonna be like calling on to people who are, I want some of that light, I want some of that light, because I can't find my own. And maybe they might deceive you and think that they want to work with you, but in the end they're just gonna take from you, or they're gonna betray you in some sort of way, or they're gonna be trying to be like the boss of the project or something like that, the boss of the house, the new house, and stuff like that. So really be careful where you jump to. It says right here that it's a competitive energy when out of balance. So maybe watch out for that too, for those around you and in yourself. And if you feel like you have to compete with someone to, I don't know, like keep the house clean or something like that, then that's not where you should be, right? Or that's not with who you should be. And that will be really clear in that sense too. Yeah, a lot of you might be fire signs, fire moons, fire ascendant, and that might be your confirmation for this reading that this was your pile, because the cheetah is a very fiery, like going forward, call of action and willpower energy. And that will resonate with the others that you will align with. And you will know if they're half-assing their lives or not. And it will be pretty visible based on your past experiences, again, based on where you've been right now or where you are right now, right? Either with, if it's with family or if it's with non-blood related people, you will know, because now you have the judgment, right, to actually know and not pity this energy, and not, maybe not pity yourself and be like, yes, just stay in your comfort zone, just stay in this little box. No, part number 3, you're ready to move. And if this is like to another state or country, then trust me, like, you will have to maybe seek the guidance of like those who've lived there. You can watch bloggers, etc. You can ask those around you who have visited these countries, or if you have the money means, maybe visit those places too, and have a mini vacation and really check it before jumping into actually just grabbing all your stuff and going there one way, and that's it, and living there. Yeah, because nowadays we have a lot of YouTubers, right? Like comparing places where they lived, or just plugging their daily lives where they have lived. And you can easily find like information, and your guides would guide you to whatever that might be. You might already have an idea of where that is too. And let's see your tarot card. You're getting the moon reversed. Yes, the illusions are over. There's no way these people can deceive you anymore. If where you're going to live, there's no way that you can be deceived again by some fake as toxic landlord, for example, if you're going to an apartment, or a house. So you will be able to go and move past these illusions falling apart here with the moon reversed, and you will be able to have the discernment that you need to make the smart move, and then take action, and then jump, to these collaborations that are gonna come up too. I feel like this might be a time where you find that your intuition has been dormant, but now it's really waking up. Yes, now it's really, really letting you see, even through dreams or through anything. You're getting like the signs that you're gonna be somewhere else real soon, and letting your intuition guide you, and your gut telling you what to do. Gut here with the cheetah, because the solar plexus energy feeling, and also like maybe, yeah, I'm feeling the fire in the solar plexus. Maybe heal your parasites if you have any. We all have, sometimes it's hard not to with this genetically modified food that's everywhere now in the grocery shoppings. So maybe heal the parasites so you don't attract people with parasites, that don't know what they're doing. Okay, you got the Bahamas. It says peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, and religiosity. These are the natural qualities by which the Brahmas work. Bhagavad Gita. Wow, beautiful card. Take a look to the picture too. This deck, actual people from India. Oh, okay, yes, this has to be the moment where all the facades and fakeness falls away with the moon in reverse, and you are seeing the honesty and what you can really tolerate, and the people who are really going to be connected to you in a pure way, wanting to teamwork for a win for everyone, not just looking out for themselves, And I think you really have to review those values to really know where you're going. And this beautiful card. Nothing is stopping me from living and loving myself to the fullest. Oh, that's beautiful. Nothing is stopping me from living and loving myself to the fullest. Yes, you don't have to feel guilty for dropping some connections, from dropping even family, from making the big jump. I'm here with that card. And also with the moon reverse, that was all, a lie, that you even had to consider those in the first place and jump fast into situations that would just put you in a very uncomfortable position where your boundaries were crossed, with the cheetah just jumping and having to deal with jealousy and envy from others against you because you jumped too fast, you trusted too fast. But now you're able to really discern, and that's the main topic, to where you're moving to, and really take these values with you and what it really means to teamwork when you are gonna be, living day to day with these ideas that are very important to nurture your soul. That's your reading, pile 3. Take care. Bye.